I wanted to choose. Be my own me. Not be defined by someone else's expectations. You wouldn't understand, you're a man. It's a lie, okay? That you can do it all. Be a wife and a mother and this self-made career woman. Like there's 37 hours in a day. And then when you can't, they say it's you. You're faulty. Like you're inferior somehow. And like if you could just get your act together. And
in a lesser show, this would be a grand feminist statement, making the audience feel ashamed by associating them with the patriarchal system. Even worse, if it was a Bollywood film, the cop would probably let her go. But this isn't any of those. This is Fargo. Within its random, uncaring universe, actions have consequence. And in my opinion, this represents the truest form of feminism, the freedom to choose and to face the consequence. The first part of this video will focus mainly on season 1 and 3. Both have a police officer at the center of it, police officers who happen to be women. Throughout the seasons we notice both Molly and Gloria getting a hunch about what truly happened at the crime scene. Since we as the audience already know the truth, we automatically want them to succeed when faced with opposition. This is a fantastic way to make the audience feel the frustration of the characters and at the same time make the characters relatable and grounded. This is where the feminism aspect of the show comes into play. To the casual viewer, it might appear that the opinions of Molly and Gloria are dismissed due to their gender, when in actuality, it's because their views directly challenge those of their superiors, which is terrifying to anyone in charge. Instead of patronizing the viewer with long emotional speeches, being told what to feel, we are shown the facts and given the freedom to decide for ourselves. In short, treated maturely. Another way to judge a narrative is to observe how it depicts masculinity. In the first season, we are introduced to Lester. He is bullied by Sam and his kids. He isn't particularly good at his job and is ridiculed by his wife at home. We as the audience automatically sympathize with him. Vern, the chief of police, is stoic, responsible, and acts like a mentor to Molly. As the season progresses, we can find clear similarities between Vern and Molly's dad, Lou. Hence, the death of Vern is a loss of a father figure for Molly. Malvo is a violent, deceptive hitman who takes pleasure in corrupting the people he encounters, always ready to assert his dominance and establish himself as the apex predator. Lester's masculinity is always questioned. Vern's masculinity is universally accepted, and Malvo forces his masculinity upon others. All of these characters are introduced to us in the very first episode. So it's safe to say Fargo isn't cutting any corners in the male character department. Setting sights on the female characters now. Linda, Lester's second wife, is a submissive damsel. All she wanted as a child was to have a better life. A man to come along, take her away, rescue her. In her mind, Lester is her knight in shining armor. When Lester gives her the red coat, which gets her shot and killed by Malvo, that's the writers showing us that Lester is the bad guy. In the second season, feminist ideas and ideologies take center stage. We find Peggy, who wants more from her life. Constance, her female employer, uses feminism to manipulate and try to seduce Peggy. Floyd becomes the matriarch of the Gerhardt crime family, following her husband's stroke. We are shown men opposing her leadership and men embracing it. Floyd's fierceness is not because she's a woman, but because she has been through a lot, and being the mother of 4 children gives her the strength to stand up for herself. We as the audience never question her or find her patronizing. She is a great example of what a strong female character looks like. Contrast that to her granddaughter Simone. She's rebellious, independent, and wants to get away from her family, to lead life on her own terms. The fact that she has an abusive father justifies the thought process. Her actions, however, lead to the downfall of the family and her eventual death. Similar to the very beginning of the video, Simone makes an argument of how the patriarchy is to blame, and she's not entirely wrong. But as mentioned previously, her actions do lead to a lot of dead people. Last but not the least, let's look at Nikki from season 3. The show does something really clever with her. From the very beginning, we are shown that she is romantically linked to Ray Stussy, an aging, physically unfit man with a receding hairline. And Nikki, being an extremely attractive woman, makes us, the audience, question her motives. Maybe there's something fishy. Maybe she's using Ray for her own benefit. And the fact that she's clearly had a shady past, and alongside Ray, kills Maurice. Other characters mirror our beliefs as well, hence cementing our own. This, however, changes once we witness her assault, and the death of Ray reveals to us that she truly loved him. Eventually, when she does retaliate, we rejoice. We want her to succeed, to overcome. But towards the end, she gets killed as well. By showing us Nikki's tribulation and her subsequent rise, Fargo made us empathize with a bad guy. Finally, let's briefly talk about the role of fathers. Molly is raised by Lou, an ex-cop. He's tough, honest, protective towards his family, and most importantly, he has strong instincts, qualities he passes on to Molly, making her who she is. Towards the end of season 1, we can clearly see how Molly's influence, along with the fact that his daughter finally has a family, gives Gus the strength, the courage to go after Malvo. And in one of the best examples of poetic justice, the predator becomes the prey. Gloria from season 3 never truly knew her father or her stepfather. This makes her question her existence, her place in the universe, and why she feels invisible. This is demonstrated by her inability to comprehend technology, the exact opposite of Varga's, thereby making them the perfect adversaries. Gloria's arc is that of self-discovery, growth, becoming a stronger individual and a better parent. In the recent past, Hollywood has shown the tendency of misrepresenting flawless, badly written characters as strong women. And not just that, they have actively dumbed down the male characters as well, trying to pass it off as feminist. When you look at a show like Fargo instead, it's refreshing to find a piece of media that treats characters equally, without prejudice, representing women as flawed, rough around the edges, capable of doing bad things, and growing as characters. All of this goes on to show, cinematically, women are capable of doing everything that a man can.